Physiotherapy is about so much more than recovery after an injury. It's about restoring movement, improving independence, and helping people live healthier, more active lives. Today's session will help us better understand how physiotherapy can make a real difference in our everyday well-being. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today's event, Nuha Sayed, who will be sharing valuable insight into how physiotherapy supports people of all ages in improving their quality of life. We're excited to learn from her experience and expertise. Please join me in giving Nuha a warm virtual welcome. Now, Nuha, the floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hello everyone, this is Nuha Sayed. And as you know, this session is going to be about the power of physiotherapy unlocking a better quality of life. Here, let's do something quick before we start. I'd like you all to stand up from your chair. Now sit back down and stand up again. Easy, right? Or maybe not so easy. Maybe your knees made a little noise. Maybe your back felt stiff. Maybe your hand reached out for the armrest without even thinking about it. Well, when was the last time you actually appreciated being able to stand up? Most of us never think about it. We don't celebrate walking, we don't celebrate bending down, climbing stairs, or even rolling out of the bed. Because movement is one of those things we only notice once it starts slipping away. Same with a lot of things in life. Honestly, we only notice our eyesight when it starts to blur. We only notice our hearing when it fades. We only notice our health when we lose it. And we only notice movement when pain takes it from us. So today isn't really a talk about physiotherapy, it's a talk about something bigger, that is freedom. Because movement is freedom. It's the freedom to pray comfortably, hug your kids, travel, work, laugh, and cook, and just live your life. Physiotherapy isn't just about fixing pain; it's about protecting that freedom. Imagine someone handed you the most advanced machine ever built, which is worth millions, repairs itself, runs thousands of processes a day without you lifting a finger. Would you leave it out in the rain? Ignore weird noises coming out from it? Wait till it completely breaks down before getting checked? Of course not. We take care of things we value, and yet every single one of us already owns something way more incredible than any machine. That is our own body. Your heart beats over 100,000 times a day. No reminders needed. Your lungs keep going while you sleep. Your brain is processing a ridiculous amount of information every second. Over 600 muscles work together just so you can stand up from a chair. Every single step is basically an engineering miracle. But how often do we actually take care of it? We service cars, we insure our homes, we update our phones, we buy screen protectors for our laptops. But when our body sends us a warning sign, we be like, oh, back pain, it'll go away. It's probably just the pillow. My knee hurts. Guess I'm just getting older? Sounds familiar, right? Well, here's the truth. It's not that our body fails us, it's that we fail our body first. Okay. Well, we were built to move. Watch any kid for 5 minutes. They don't sit still. They run, they jump, climb, roll, stretch constantly. And that's literally how they explore the world. Allah built us with bodies made for motion, every joint, every muscle, every ligament made to move. But somewhere along the way, modern life turned us into sitters. Think about your day. You sit for breakfast, sit in the car, sit in your desk, sit in meetings, sit on your phone. Even relaxing has become another form of sitting. We're the most comfortable generation ever, and maybe also the most physically stiff. Food comes to our doors, shopping comes to our doors, meeting happens on screen. Our watches in literally remind us to stand up because we've forgotten how. Convenience is great, but it's quietly stealing movement out of our lives, and our bodies are the ones paying for it. Think about our grandparents. They had no fancy gyms, no calorie counting, no fitness trackers, and yet a lot of them stayed active well into old age because movement wasn't a workout, it was just life. They walked to the market, climbed stairs, carried groceries, worked with their hands, squatted while cooking. Kids played outside till the sun went down. Nobody had to schedule it. But today, kids can unlock a smartphone before they can even climb a tree. A lot of us scroll more than we stroll. Our thumbs are stronger than our legs at this point. But our posture is craving toward screen instead of the sky. It's not that people get lazy. Life changed. But because life changed, healthcare has to change too. That's exactly why physiotherapy isn't yesterday's healthcare, it's today's. And it's definitely tomorrow's. So, we're living longer than ever, but longer isn't the whole story. The real question is, how are we living those extra years? Can you still play with your kids? Kneel comfortably in prayer? Climb stairs without worrying? Traveling without dreading the pain? Because even more years, mean very little in those years are uncomfortable. Physiotherapy isn't just for recovering from an accident anymore, it's prevention, it's education, confidence, and its independence. Honestly, it might be one of the biggest healthcare needs of our generation right now. Notice how kids fall, cry for 2 seconds, and go back to running. Somewhere along the way, adults lose that. We start fearing pain, avoiding movements, and telling ourselves pain is just a part of getting older. But pain isn't always your enemy, it's often your body protecting you. Touch a hot stove. What makes you pull your hand back instantly? Pain. Without it, you'd leave your hand there way too long, right? Pain isn't Pain is your body's alarm system. The problem isn't alarm going off. It's when we rip the batteries off instead of finding out what's actually burning it. A lot of us just pop a pill and move on. We ignore it. We learn to live with it. But if your smoke alarm went off every single night, would you just remove the batteries or like go find the source of the smoke? Well, physiotherapy doesn't switch off the alarm. It asks, why is why is it going off in the first place? That question changes everything. Someone walks in with the knee pain. Most of us assume the therapist will just look at the knee, but a good physiotherapist looks at the whole picture. Maybe it's not the knee at all. Maybe it's the weak hips, changing the way you walk. Maybe it's the stiff ankles, putting extra pressure on the knee. Maybe you have like years of bad posture, slowly shifting your whole weight distribution. Think of the body like an orchestra. One instrument out of tune, and pretty soon the whole thing sounds off. Just treating the sore spot without finding the real cause is like patching a leak ceiling without ignoring while ignoring the hole in the roof. The leak always comes back. The physiotherapy doesn't just ask where does it hurt, it asks why does it hurt? And sometimes the answer surprises everyone. Picture a picture a gorgeous house, strong walls, fresh paint, beautiful furniture. Looks perfect from the sound, but underneath, the foundation starts cracking slowly. At first, nothing seems off. Months go by, small cracks show up on the walls. Doors stop closing right, windows start sticking, and eventually the whole structure gets shaky. Now imagine just painting over those cracks every few weeks instead of fixing the foundation. Would that actually solve anything? No. Our body works exactly the same way. Pain is the crack on the wall, weakness, bad posture, poor movement patterns, and that's the foundation. Physiotherapy fixes the foundation because when that's solid, everything built on the top of it works better too. Okay, this is a huge myth right here. Myth. People think physiotherapy is only for athletes, but wait, do only athletes have muscles? Only athletes have joints? And only are they the only one who feel pain? Obviously not. Physiotherapy is for the mom crying her baby, carrying her baby all day, the office worker glued to a screen for 8 hours, the tailor bent over a sewing machine, the teacher on their feet all day, and also the grandmother who wants to kneel and pray without wincing. Physiotherapy isn't a luxury, it's an investment of how good your everyday life can actually feel. But here's a story that stuck with me. An elderly man who walks into a physiotherapy clinic, struggling just to sit down. The therapist asks, "What's your goal here?" Expecting him to say something like, "I want my knee pain gone," or something like that. But instead, he smiles and says, "I want to walk to the mosque without stopping every few minutes." He didn't want to become an athlete. He didn't want to climb a mountain. He just wanted to he just wanted to do one thing that meant the most to him with dignity, to be able to do it with dignity. And that's what physiotherapy actually gives back. Not just movement, but purpose. Every patient has a story like that. A mother who wants to lift their child pain free, a teacher who wants to stand through a whole lesson comfortably, and a young athlete hoping to get back on the field. A physiotherapy helps them get closer to the goal that they want to achieve. And a lot of people proudly say, "I've learned to live with pain." But have they really? Or has the pain quietly rewritten how they live? Maybe they stop traveling. Maybe they skip family outings now. Maybe they turn down invitations because walking too much hurts. Maybe they stop gardening, stop playing with their kids, stop smiling as much. Pain doesn't just sit in your joints, it quietly takes away experiences, confidence, independence, and joy. And that's why catching it early matters. The sooner you listen to it, the easier the road back. Okay? Let's try one more. I'd like you all to sit comfortably, roll your shoulders back 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then gently stretch your neck to one side, then the other. And then take a deep breath. Feel a little different already? That's the whole point. We think healing needs some big dramatic fix. Sometimes healing starts with one stretch, one walk, one decision to just move. We've talked a lot about muscles, joints, and posture, but physiotherapy is really about something much bigger, that is, living well. Have you noticed how pain changes a person, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, socially too? Someone who used to love walking starts staying home. Someone who loved traveling starts making excuses. Someone who loved playing with the kids now just watches from a chair. Pain slowly shrinks a person's world, not because they stopped loving life, but because they stopped trusting their body. One of the biggest things physiotherapy gives back is confidence. Confidence to walk, travel, pray comfortably, and carry your grandkid, and just say yes to life again. Uh, No pill can give you that. As Muslims, we thank Allah for our food, our family, our homes, our work. But how often do we thank Him for our knees, our shoulders, our spine, for every step we take without pain? The Prophet ﷺ taught us how to appreciate blessings before we lose them. Health is a blessing, movement is a blessing, every pain-free sajda, every walk to the masjid, every hug, every trip up to the stairs, these are gifts. Looking after your body isn't vanity, it's gratitude. Taking care of the body is taking care of your amana, a trust. Allah gave us this body, we don't own it forever. We're just looking after it for a while, and that comes with responsibility. Years ago, infectious disease was one of our biggest health threats. But today, it's inactivity. Kids sit in school, adults sit at work, even our entertainment involves in sitting. The WHO actually names physical inactivity as one of the leading risk factors for chronic disease. We spend thousands of the latest phone but hesitate to spend 30 minutes moving our body. We say we don't have time, yet somehow find to school every week. It's not really about time, it's about priority. Our bodies were built to move. When movement disappears, illness finds an opening. Physiotherapy helps us grab that movement back before it costs our independence. Picture two people, both in their 60s, with similar health conditions, but one stays active, exercises regularly, keeps good posture, builds strength, and gets help early when something wrong happens, like if his knees hurt or something. While the other one avoids movement out of fear and just assumes pain is a part of getting older. 10 years later, they're the same age on the paper, but living completely different lives. One is traveling, the other is stuck at home. One's enjoying family holidays, the other is scared of every staircase. One's playing with their grandkids, the other is watching from a distance. The difference wasn't luck, it was movement. There's an old story about two woodcutters. Both start cutting trees at sunrise. The first one works non-stop, never pausing. The second one stops every hour. The first one laughs. You'll never keep up with this rate. By sunset, the second woodcutter had cut down way more trees. Someone asked how. He said, every time I stopped, I sharpened my axe. Well, our lives work the same way. A lot of us just work, rush, stress, and repeat day after day. year after year without ever stopping to sharpen the one tool we use every single day. That's our body. Exercise is sharpening the axe. Stretching and stretching is also sharpening the axe. Physiotherapy is sharpening the axe. And taking care of yourself isn't waste of time. It's what get it is what gets you ready for everything else life throws at you. Okay. Before we wrap up, I'd like you all to make one promise, not to me, to yourself. Promise that starting tomorrow, you'll move just a little more than you did today. You'll take the stairs, go for a walk, stretch on your desk, stand up every 30 minutes, play with your kids, sit on the floor sometimes, listen when your body whispers instead of waiting for it to scream. Small changes done constantly adds up to something huge. People love saying health is wealth. I like to step it one I'd like to take it one step further. Movement is freedom because movement lets us worship, work, hug the people we love, travel, stay independent, and live with dignity. Physiotherapy isn't just about recovering from an injury, it's about protecting your freedom so that 20 years from now, you can still kneel in prayer comfortably, walk beside your spouse, carry your grandchildren, travel without fear, and keep making beautiful memories. Don't wait for the pain to force you to stop. Don't wait until surgery is your only option. Don't wait until until your body starts shouting. Listen while it's whispering. Take care of your body. Allah has entrusted you with. Protect it, strengthen it, respect it. Because the goal isn't just to add years to your life, it's to add life to your years. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you all like this session. And if you are interested in any specific topic or condition that you'd want me to talk about, feel free to share them in the chat box so that I can explain them in the further sessions. May Allah bless every one of us with good health, strength, barakah, and bodies that serve Him well. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much, Sister Nuha, for such an insightful and informative session. We truly appreciate you taking the time to share your knowledge and experience with us today. I'd also like to thank everyone who joined us. We hope today's discussion has given you a better understanding of the important role of physiotherapy that plays in improving health, movement, and overall quality of life. If you enjoyed today's session, then do stay connected with B4U for future educational sessions and community initiatives, which will be shared in the chat box with you all. And once again, thank you all for being here. Take care, stay healthy, and we wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.